told tonight this unlikely event. The president had requested live airtime.
Came into office, promising to refashion America's image abroad.
In Genesis, the Lord God told to Adam, "You are free to eat from any tree in the garden, any tree that you could see with your eye, but you must not eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it, you shall certainly die."
But the serpent was crafty, and said to Eve in the night, "You will not surely die, for he knows that when you eat, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God."
Adam and Eve walked with God and talked with God, yet they still desired something more. They wanted to feel God their own way, so they ate, not knowing what was in store.
And as time continued, humanity's decisions rarely strayed from that single decision that Adam and Eve made.
And God spoke these words to Moses, "I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt. You should have no other gods before me." Exodus 20:1-3.
And while God was speaking to Moses face to face, God's people wanted to feel God, something they could see, something they could taste.
In Exodus 32:1-4, the people gathered around Aaron and said, "Come, make us gods who will go before."
As for this fellow Moses who brought us up and out, we don't know what has happened to him, but a God we can't do without.
So Aaron took what the people gave him and made it into a golden calf. Then they said, "This is our God we could worship at last."
Many years went by, and though the one true God proved to be faithful, his people still were restless, confused, and ungrateful.
All the elders of Israel gathered together and said, "Now appoint us a king like all the other nations, lest we become dead."
And the Lord told Samuel, "Listen to them, listen to the people, for they have rejected me as their king, they refused to be my people."
From Ecclesiastes 2, Solomon denied himself, nothing his eyes desired. He refused his heart, no pleasure, and his heart burned with fire.
And yet, when he looked at all the things that he had done, something was still missing. It was all just empty fun.
And during Jesus' day, the Pharisees, the teachers of law, were told by Christ the rules and regulations aren't the point at all.
Are we much different?
Are we missing a mark?
Is there something inside us that longs for a spark?
Do we want more to take us higher?
Do we indulge in our desires?
Do we take and do we eat from all we see around us?
Do we look to different religions to feel that God is with us?
Do we desire someone to help us succeed?
And yet, with all that we have, do we feel there's something we don't see?